Hello, friends. This is Alia Jamal, the love coach, and we are meeting with another love circle. And today we are talking about mastering the art of self-validation. Now, my friend, this is one of those topics that it just gets juicier and juicier the more you talk about it. This is one of those topics that I'm so passionate about. I'm always looking at nooks and crannies within me where I'm still seeking other people's validation or validation from the society at large. Every time I find something, I make it my life mission to conquer that aspect of me. So, what I'll be sharing today is going to be some very, very, very powerful content that is going to get you to a level of inner freedom. And if this is something you're interested in, I'll just put it right away, right now, here. No matter where you are in your self-development or in becoming that next level version of you, breaking away from seeking validation from other people would be a forever or every level work. And if this is something you're passionate about, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to be your guide on this journey. So now let's dig in. Why do we there will be four parts to this, and I am going to do my best to keep it under 30 minutes, but I can tell you there's a lot of content today because it's one of those topics that, we think we got it, we think we don't got it, we think we already have it, but in truth, we actually are not really there. So I will start with sharing with you what are the symptoms or signs that you're seeking validation from other people. And then the second thing I'll be sharing with you is why you want to learn to shift it. The third thing I'll be sharing with you is how to do it. And the fourth thing I'll be sharing with you, how would you know if the process is somewhat there? Because it's a forever work in progress. Every next level that you go to, there'll be another layer of validation you're seeking from other people or some invisible people that you'll be going over or working through or healing through. So now let's start with what are the telltale signs that you are seeking other people's validation? So if you're a people pleaser, then you already know, but some of us are not that outwardly seeking other people validation. It's very hidden for us. Like for me at this point, it is so hidden. It is so, so, so hidden that I am very vigilant at all time. So when we worry about what other people will say, even if it's imaginary, even if you're washing dishes and you're just thinking about a random conversation, and the thought comes like how this person will feel about me. And that person could be even your spouse. That person could be the love of your life. That person could be your kid. That person could be anybody. If that thought is coming to the surface, my friend, you're seeking validation from other people. Fear of rejection. When we don't want to do something because we don't know how other people will react, they might stop being your friends. They might, cut you out of their circle. When we are comparing ourselves with others, that is right there in front of our nose, but we don't know that it's there because we are comparing our body with somebody else. Now we want our body to look like that person's body. We want our purse or bag or our car to look like them, but we don't even realize that that is seeking validation from an outer source. Inability to make independent decisions. If you feel that you're very indecisive, or for big decisions, you have to ask five people before you make a decision, that means that you're seeking validation from outside of you. This, my friend, is like, even if you work on this tiny part, being able to make your own decision, you're going to create a lot of inner freedom and you're going to feel free to express who you are and you're going to feel the power that is within you. The last one that I wanted to share, and there's many more I can share, but for the time of this conversation, hypersensitivity to feedback. When someone tells you good things about you, you like it. When they tell bad things about you, you don't like it. If your whole day is going to get ruined because of one comment or one email or one something, that means you're seeking validation from other people. I personally go through all of these on regular basis. That's why I'm always working on myself. How can I go beyond seeking other people's validation? Now, here's the main part. Why you want to learn it? Like, why do you want to get over the fear of other people rejecting you, or stop caring about other people's opinion of you, or not really take every feedback to your heart? Why do you want to do that? So I really want to share that. um, the most important, if you get nothing from this conversation, the most important is, if someone, some or something outside of you can impact you, it can control you. And if it can control you, you will never live the potential of your soul, the light that is within you. You can't ever possibly live that if someone outside of you is controlling you. We are independent beings with free will. God gave us free will. There's a reason why God gave us free will. But most of us human don't have free will because we are so worried what someone else is going to think about us. There's a project we want to work on, but we are just sitting in a corner so scared. What if I go this way and then nobody likes me? Personally, I'm walking through that path every single day, so I can attest to that. Um, Whenever you let someone else control you, you abandon you. And every time you abandon you, you have created space between you and you. Between your soul and your ego, there's more space. Now, ego is going to control you. Soul would be talking to you, and you can't even hear it. And that is where most of us adults are. So every time I let someone else's opinion or fear of their rejection or acceptance, whatever it is, impact my decision or my choices, if I let that happen, I have abandoned myself. And there's a huge price we all pay for abandoning ourselves, and that is a lot of energy leakage. So if you find yourself stuck in your life, um, in a very dark place where you have no idea why you're so lazy, why can't you do anything, and you're just so stuck, you have no energy left. Most likely, you're letting people outside of you control you, situations, people, and you're abandoning yourself. So those are the kind of things I can help you. If you find yourself stuck there, please feel free to reach out to me. Another aspect why we want to work through it, if you don't work through seeking validation from other people, you will always be afraid of losing people, losing things. Now, let's say if right now, I mean, I'm going through a new relationship myself right now, so I can really speak from that place. Let's say you just fell in love with somebody and, life is so beautiful. The person loves you, you love them. If you don't validate yourself, you're going to start living with the fear, what if this person leaves me? And most of us live with that fear. What if my kids stop talking to me, especially for those who have older kids? What if my spouse leaves me? What if my siblings leave me? What if my friends leave me? And we all have experience losing relationship. But if you don't learn how to validate yourself, you will live with that fear, and that fear will be taking a lot of energy out of you and depleting you. That's why most of us adults, we have chronic fatigue syndrome. I have no idea where it's coming from, why it's there, but if you pay attention to your consciousness, you'll find all this there. The last thing, why you want to learn to validate yourself so you can truly own your happiness. I can tell you, the more work I do on myself in this aspect of my existence, the more free I feel. I can make my own decision. I can own my decisions and my actions and my word. I don't have to depend on anybody. I would like to say that I am not impacted by other people's opinion of me. They can have whatever opinion they want. I can proudly say that I am not as afraid of other people rejecting me as I used to be, because I have seen no matter what happened, I'll be okay. And that is the level of trust that comes within you when you start to validate yourself. So now let's just talk a little bit about how did we end up here? How did we end up here being very successful, worldly adults? Our career is good, everything is wonderful, but inside we are like these mushy gummy bears that can't really stand on its own. And we need everybody else's validation. And we're just trying to fill that void by pleasing other people, by bending backward, by hiding our authentic self, by not really sharing who we truly are, and even shy away or stay away from our soul's purpose. We don't want to share it because we don't want other people to think we are weird. How did we get there? So, the word that we are going to talk about is called authority. In our mind, to our unconscious mind, there is an invisible authority. When we were little, it was our parents. Our parents, we needed their appreciation, we needed their validation for us to make sense of our existence. 0 to 7, we needed that. But what has happened that authority still lives outside of us? The exchange never happened. So parents never, especially parents who don't have the access or the awareness to the knowledge that me and you, we are talking about right now about behavior, this and that, and not all generations all over the world have access to that or awareness of that. They don't know what authority is. They don't know that the way they are raising their kids, they are making them emotionally dependent on them, and the child is always going to look for that validation outside of them. So let's say when I was 1 year old, I started walking. My parents praised it. They encouraged me. I needed their encouragement. I needed their joy. I needed to know that I can, make them happy. Them being happy, I will stay alive. So as I got older, now good grades means happy parents. So grades stayed good. But when we become 30-year-old and we are still seeking either parents' validation, I wanna be a good person, so my parents think I'm a good person. And that translating into I want to be the kind of person that other people will accept me. That is where most of us adults are. Now, how it can be or what it could be or what you can do in your family if you have young kids. Because I'm personally practicing that, and that is teaching your kids how to be their own authority. As they come out of the age 7, you can even start before that, teaching them how to make their decisions and how to own their decisions and not to depend on you for validation. One of the things I asked my son, one of the question I ask him, he's 10 at the moment, what do you think about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? What do you feel about what you have done? As we are asking those questions, what we are doing, we are transforming that authority from he needs my opinion to he should be having his own opinion. My goal is to do my best till the age of 16 to shift that authority completely so our kids can be independent, emotionally independent human beings and not seeking authority from other people. Because if they're seeking authority from other people, they will get manipulated, whether it's their um, spouse, whether it's their kids, whether it's invisible society at large. Right now, we are seeing a lot of kids. I mean, it happens in every generation. There is that peer pressure because we don't know how to be our own peer. Just having a little hard time putting my notes in a place where I can see it, and we got it. Okay. So one of the things we'll be focusing on today, how to find that voice of authority in your life and bring it inside of you. I'm just saying it, I'm getting so excited because the level of freedom you're going to walk away with today is going to be just completely mind-blowing. So now we are getting into how to learn or master the art of self-validation. I'll be talking about 4 points here. The first one is Be the authority in your life. Now, what does that even mean? We all have a voice speaking to us in our mind. You want to go here, and the voice is saying, well, if you go here, then this will happen, then that will happen, then that will happen. You're such a horrible person. You're this and that. That voice is nonstop talking, and very rarely it's saying good stuff. Ask yourself, is it mom's voice or is it dad's voice? Right away, you might say, no, Alia, that's my voice. I'm hearing my own voice. Pause again, ask yourself, if you'll be in a situation, will mom be talking like that or will dad be talking like that? Or it could be another person of influence in your life. Maybe it will be your grandfather. Whose voice is that? And if you can figure out, then detach from it. It's their voice, not yours. It's their fears, not yours. It's their need to seek validation. It's not yours. We carry this wound generation after generation. If you happen to be listening to that or coming across material like that, that means it ends with you. You have the opportunity to shift that energy within you. You have the opportunity available to let your soul shine and not just keep carrying the lineage of seeking validation from outside of you. Because no matter what you are, the way you've been created, you're complete. If you don't realize that, no one else can realize that for you. And your version of complete is going to be very different than my version of complete because I am a different expression of divine power, divine light, and you are a completely different expression of divine power and divine light. So, whenever you're going through that craziness, and this voice is just talking, 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 in that moment, ask yourself, what would I say? What would I think? I understand this voice is telling me all the worst case scenario and how my world will fall apart if I go in this direction. What do I feel? What do I think? When you start introducing I in your internal conversation, you're bringing authority home. That was supposed to happen many, many years ago, but you can create that shift right now. Ask yourself, what do I think about myself? What do I think about my decision? What do I think about the course of action I'm taking? What is my opinion about myself? Just inviting that can liberate you because now you're not worried about everybody else. You're only worried about yourself. And it's so much easier to be worried about one person than 100 invisible or thousands of invisible people. And the more you will start to lean on yourself, something so profound will happen. First of all, you're not leaking all your energy by being worried about all the people. But most importantly, you will start trusting yourself because what's happening, you are standing next to yourself now. You're not standing against yourself. You're not putting yourself in a court of law and um, prosecuting yourself. You're standing next to you. You're saying, I got me. I own what I say. I am going to be authority. I'll take the wins and I'll take the losses as well. That is called personal responsibility. And most of us adults, we run away from that. A lot of our suffering comes because we don't want to be individually responsible. We want to blame on somebody. We want to blame it on our parents. We want to blame it on our culture. We want to blame it on our religion. We want to blame it on our extended family. We want to blame it on our teachers, on our school, on government, on society. We want to blame everybody. The solution is own yourself. See, this is the direction I want to go, and I will walk it and then walk on it. And when you will take few steps, you realize you're fine. Nothing happened to you. Keep walking, my friend. That is how you own yourself. That is how you bring authority home. That is how you start to say, this is my life. I got it. The level of trust that you're going to bring in your life is going to be very different. Every time you an opinion pops up in your mind about you, just ask yourself, how do I think about me? Maybe an opinion in your head is saying right now you're such a lazy person. Ask yourself, how do I think about myself? Do I think I'm lazy, or is only this voice is thinking I'm lazy? It's very important that you get into a habit of what do I believe or think about myself. Getting to the second, when we got into a little bit when we start to validate ourselves, I got me, I'll be on my side, we start to build trust. How we are building trust? By keeping our words with ourselves. If I said something and I stand next to me, now I'm building trust. Now trust opens our heart. When I take my own responsibility, when I say I validate myself, my heart is open. Because if I'm listening to the voice, I'm living over here. If I'm living over here, my heart is closed. When my heart is closed, I am disconnected from my soul's abundance. Now I am hustling. To a lot of us, when we are seeking other people's validation, our life feels so difficult because it seems like we are in an invisible race that we can never win. But who decided to be in that race? You did. When you quit that race and you start walking on your own path, you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of time. Most importantly, you feel so much happier and you're in a lot of peace because you're not trying to pull energy from other people. When we are seeking validation, we don't realize we're pulling energy from other people. If I start caring about what you think about me, now I'm stealing energy from you because I need something from you. That means I'm stealing energy from you. What's happening? I'm depleting you. We don't realize how selfish it is to seek other people validation. It's not noble. Unfortunately, we are taught it's very noble to ask everybody else's opinion about wherever you're going or whatever you're doing. Of course, we want to collect research data. We want to look at all the pros and cons as we are, whether building a business, building a home, or we are building our life. But when you start depending on it, now you're stealing energy from other people. And when you just start to take energy from yourself, and that is somehow enough for you, you start to trust yourself and your heart is open. Now you can hear what your soul is telling to you. And now you are open to the dimension of your soul, to all the abundance that already belongs to you. It's magical, my friend, how your life will shift when you stop depending on other people's energy. The next one is the third one is learning to emotionally support yourself. Now, again, this is a huge, especially us women um, who are more expressive in our emotions, and we do have that false sense of intimacy when we are complaining to each other. It is very important to learn and to master to emotionally support ourselves. And for men, it could be, at least that's what I see with the male client that I work with. They just suppress and completely disown their emotions. And that's why they also are internally seeking validation from other people, even though on the surface they look like they don't care about it. They definitely care about it. We all are human deep down, no matter how much we pretend we are robots. Um, how can you emotionally support yourself? Generally, what happens, I'm feeling down, I'll pick up the phone, I'll talk to somebody. I would need energy from somebody. I'll be like, make me feel better, make me feel better. Of course, that is a very important aspect of us being human. We live in communities, we need human connection. But what about me being able to give myself that before I reach out to another person? That is where you start to validate yourself. And how would you do that? Ask yourself, create this habit within you. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? What is it that I can do for myself? I personally made it my daily habit. At some point in my day, I'll just ask myself, Alia, how are you feeling? What is something I can do for you? When I go on a date with myself, sometimes just sitting in the back seat of the car, having food with myself, open the conversation. Alia, how are you feeling? What is something I can do for you? It's very easy, but in that moment, you're feeling heard, seen, validated all by yourself. Your spouse does not need to see how sad you are. You need to see how sad you are. Your friends don't need to see how sad you are. You need to see how sad you are. The world doesn't need to see how stressful you are. You need to see how stressed you are. And then asking yourself, what is something I can do for you? And then pause and wait for the answer. If the answer doesn't come, keep asking yourself that question because you're building trust with yourself. You're building a relationship with the parts of you that you abandoned long time ago. Every time you start to seek validation from somebody outside of you, when, your sister's opinion matter more than your opinion, your friend's opinion matter more than your opinion, your social media invisible friend's opinion matter more than your opinion. In that moment, you are seeking validation from those people. You're abandoning yourself. And through this process of asking yourself, how are you feeling? Genuinely asking that, is there something I can do for you? You're repairing that relationship. The more you repair this relationship, my friend, the less you'll need to seek validation from another person. The reason you go out to take energy from other people because you're not giving yourself that energy. You have closed the door to that infinite energy pool that is within you, and that is your soul. The last one is seeing in the mirror and talking to yourself. In the beginning, it's going to feel very weird, very awkward, no matter what age or um, gender that you are, it's going to feel weird. But once you get to a place where you can look in your eyes in the mirror and you can say, I love you, I see you, I hear you, I'm here for you, I will not abandon you. No matter what happened, I'll stand next to you. When you commit to yourself, looking in your own eyes, you feel that inner strength, my friend. You feel it. But when you're not able to give that to yourself, then you're not able to feel that. You're not able to connect with that. What you can give to yourself, no one in the world can give to you. Sometime I have heard people leaning on their parents in a emotional way or leaning on their partner in an emotional way. Everything gets better when I talk to my parents. Everything gets better when I talk to my spouse. My friend, you are an infinite being. Tap into that infinite power. You were created complete and independent of your parents and your loved ones. Why not activate that power? Why not connect with that power? Why not become that light, that brightly beaming light, that you can just share that light with other people instead of taking light from other people? Because if you're seeking validation, if you're a people pleaser right now, you're taking light from other people without even realizing you're energetically harming other people. It is that serious. And then we're when our body is getting depleted and we're getting tired, we don't realize why it's happening. We are doing it through our consciousness to each other all day long. If you do have a loved one who's always seeking validation from you, please share this with them. Enlighten them or take a little bit distance from them. Let them be independent. Let them connect with their soul. Do not keep feeding to them because you're not helping them. You're not helping them at all every time giving them your energy. Because if you'll keep feeding them, they will never learn how to earn for themselves, how to connect with that infinite power that is within themselves. Now, the last thing we want to talk about, how would you know if you're there? How would you know that you're at a point, at a healthy point of validating yourself? And of course, we can always build more on top of that. So here's the thing. When someone praises you and you love it, you want to hear a little bit more about it. you're depending on their energy. When someone says bad things about you and you don't like it at all, you want them to be sorry. You want them to take their words back. You're still seeking validation from them. And I can tell you personally, I just went through an experience in my own life, and it took me about 10 days to get to a point where I did not want the apology, where I did not want the other person to take their words back. It took me 10 days to do the inner shifts where I got to a point I validate myself, I'm good. I don't need energy from them. When you get to a point that hearing a praise and hearing a rejection or criticism are both neutral to you, that is when you are at a healthy level of self-validation. And then you can just continue building on top of that. As I continue building on top of that, something will happen in your life that would force you to stretch even more to the aspects of you that you have not explored yet, as I had to do in the past 10 days. But that is something you can keep doing, you can keep working on, and that is how you can create a space within you that is completely free. Just a little bit, I wanted to explain about praise or somebody rejecting you. The truth is, when someone praises you, it's not really about you. It's about them. They have that inner beauty that they see beauty in everything. When someone is criticizing you, especially those that you don't even invite or ask for their opinion, they're criticizing you. That's their inner world. That's how they see the world. It has nothing to do with you. So when you get to a place that the energy that's coming from the other person does not impact you, that means you got that solid base that you're standing on, and you got a solid protection of your own validation and your own love. And now you are free of other people's energy. You're not taking, you're not feeding them. That is when you become an independent beam of light and an independent expression of divine light in this world. And that is what we need from each other. That the world needs more light than ever before. So when we start to work on ourselves, validating ourselves, that is truly when we can become channel of that light. Now, if this is a topic that you want to explore, and you are ready to have my assistance in that, please reach out to me. You can DM me. You can go to my website, aliajamalcoaching.com, and you can book a strategy call with me. And I would love to be your guide on this beautiful journey of becoming an independent, emotionally independent, and a free human being. Sending you so much love. Bye.